Everybody, welcome back to the channel and thanks for tuning in. A very interesting article today, and I also have a little bit of a chart to show you guys. So, as I said in one of my last videos, I told everybody at the price of around 7,500, which then the price of Bitcoin went to 72, so it dropped even more to start buying. Because if you didn't buy then, you've been given a gift. The previous price was 9,000 back in late May, and then it dropped to 7,200. So around there, it was like a $1,500 or $1,800 discount from the all-time high of 2019. So I encourage people to buy because, like I said, as we don't know, but it's possible this might be the last chance we get a price like this because we can't predict it. So you might as well take your chances and have gotten lucky to have gotten such a discount. Well, we're back. We are back at around $9,100 as of today, June 19th. Very exciting, I would say. You know, it's good to see the price moving. We had a huge parabolic move in the last few days, going from around 7,800 to around almost 9,500. But now we're stabilizing back at around 91. Found support there. So, people are saying that this is like the next start of the rally. And, if you watch my first video on this channel that I ever made a couple weeks ago, you'll see my video on Tether. And I kind of want to explain. This is why I personally think that this Bitcoin movement could take a lot longer than we think. And I'm not trying to be negative. Again, I'm just trying to be realistic. It could take longer because I don't think this growth is organic. I just want you to read this article. Tether just printed another 100 million USDT, making 250 million USDT in only 1 week. Their market cap grew from 2.8 billion to 3.5 billion in the last month. It's crazy. I mean, they were at 2 billion, I think, in the beginning of the year. Now they're at 3.5 billion. They went up $1.5 billion USDT in that amount of time. It's ludicrous. So you can see the data from Etherscan. If you look here, we can just go to their Etherscan and we can see all the transactions. It's out of control. I mean, just look at these recurring payments here. This one was 507 days ago. I think it was January in 2018 where they last printed this much Tether, but now we're seeing consistent, 30 million, 50 million, 70 million. Just a month ago, 2 months ago, 70 million, 100 million. It seems to be the same wallet. It's Bitfinex most likely, and now 100 million. The numbers are getting bigger. And again, this just signals to me that they're just pumping the price. You have to remember, why would people all of a sudden want to take their US dollars and put it onto the exchanges and buy Tether? Why won't they just keep it in US dollars? So $1.5 billion worth of Tether this year comes in and people just want to buy Tether. They don't want to buy Bitcoin or Ethereum or maybe Ripple. They want to buy Tether. Pretty insane to think about. So obviously they're just printing more money and inflating the price. Again, I showed this chart before to everybody, but I want to reiterate here. Look again, back in May 2017, April, when we started to see, a huge rise, and look at the market cap just catapult. And then we get to around, December, and look at this. This is exactly when Bitcoin hit $20,000. It kept going. It got a little bit more stable and steady over the years. We got to around 2.8 billion back in September. Then we had to see a huge drop right when Bitcoin's price dropped and tanked. And we had an all-time low of Bitcoin right around here. So we're looking at just 6 months ago, the market cap was just under 2 billion. And what do you know? Come January 2019 and come the recent months when we started to see more of a steady increase in Bitcoin, look at this and look at this. Right when we hit about that $7,200 mark, roughly speaking, of Bitcoin, look, now we're at 9,500. Look at this. Ridiculous. They just printed so much Tether. Boom. Sorry, this was not 7,200. This was around 4,000. Sorry, this was the $4,000 level. This is March. I mistook it for May. Look at this. Boom. What a coincidence. So this is just for me to say that don't be too excited. We could see a huge drop. We could not. But again, I still recommend, not financial advice, buying in as soon as possible and just being wary about all the news you hear on the news. I mean, Tom Lee is an example of the guy who goes on like CNN or MSNBC talking about how, he thinks Bitcoin will go to 50,000 and why this is, institutions are starting to move in and all this kind of stuff. No, this is right now because of Tether. They're back at it again. We see consistent patterns from Tether. It's getting out of control. And this just seems to be very artificial. So I don't see anything really, again, we're still very far from institutional adoption. I just don't see it based on this data. And it's not even data, it's just a graph. It's so obvious. I mean, it might not be the case, but how could it not be? What a coincidence. So just keep your eyes peeled, guys. Just wanted to give you that. We're at $3.5 billion of Tether now. Absolutely astronomically insane. That's all I have to say. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Check out the links in the description if you want to take a look at the Ether wallet, as well as the graphs and the article as well. Should be very interesting. So just do some more research and I just want people to understand what the real possible cause is of this Bitcoin run. We might be far from it. We might be close, and Tether might push the price. They might cause the next bull run just like before. Because remember, 95% of Bitcoin volume is fake. So, even though we have a Tether market cap of around 3.5 billion and Bitcoins is almost at 170 billion or more, most of the trading volume isn't real. So Tether can move the price very dramatically by putting all this money in. Just remember that. Thanks a lot, guys, and have a great one.